So hi, I'm with Nikhil, who's the head of Project Indus at Tech Mahindra, and this is the first time he's here at Cypher as well. So hi Nikhil, how has the experience been so far at Cypher? You just came today.
I think it's fantastic. I think to see this community of AI join together, right, and so many people, I think it's great. I think the first thing that attracts me to Cypher, which attracted me, was of course your mascot, right?
Yeah,
the
the
mascot's
astronaut.
really amazing.
Yeah.
Number two, I love the colors in which Cypher was printed, right, and also the AIM part, which is basically the first attraction.
Yeah.
When I entered Cypher, I really thought, yeah, it's going to be like another
Enterprise event,
enterprise
tech
event
event,
and so on and so forth. But
Yeah.
it was completely different, right? I saw the eagerness in people to learn. You can hear some back whispers saying, "यार तो land graph में कर सकते हैं." Sort of that story, which is really cool to see how India is actually gearing up. I think you and AIM has been pivotal in actually picking up this as an event, which is so good for the country.
Yeah, and your topic as well. So I think first you were planning to speak on quantum, and then you changed it to sovereign LLMs, which is I think a very important discussion to be having right now. So what do you think about it? Like, is India in the right direction when it comes to building sovereign LLMs?
I think we are. I think sovereign or not, I think India has taken the lead on LLMs, right? So I think with so many companies working, right, including us, including Ola with their Krutrim, including Bharat GPT, Coreover, I think they're all doing fantastic, including Sarvam, right? They're all doing fantastic. I think they've all picked up a kind of niche in terms of how they want to attack the whole market, principle of LLM within India. We picked up a niche saying, look, we will do dialects, right, along with language. I think Sarvam picked up a lead saying, look, we will also do voice and text. I think it's so good to see all of this effort coming up. And there's also light banter amongst ourselves saying, tum jeetoge ya, we'll win or you'll win. But it's so cool that India has picked up the lead for LLM and sovereign, and you see this sovereign LLM story now extending to other places as well, and not just the West, right? I'm seeing it happening in Southeast Asia. I'm seeing it happening in Malaysia. I'm seeing it happening in Indonesia. I think India has taken the lead, and when we developed Indus, right, we got so many people coming back to us from different countries saying, look, this is the need of the hour for sovereignty of data and the LLM to be built inside. People didn't care whether it was built grounds up. People didn't build, whether it was a, kind of LLM that you took and you made it. But people were really considering the facet of sovereignty of data and making sure that there is a sovereign LLM.
Do you think there can be a sovereignty in making AI chips in India as well in the future?
I think we should. I think even if it's not, I think our Prime Minister is on that task. We want to get to that sovereignty in making chips in India as well. I really reckon the day, another 5-10 years or maybe less time, who knows, when India can have their own chips being manufactured over here, because that is going to be a huge boost to AI ecosystem, number one. Number two, you asked me a question that I didn't talk about quantum. I think there is a quantity of work happening in quantum in India. I think the moment we start making these chips and we have sovereignty of chips, you would see that effort even double dipping in quantum. Because now you will have the assets to combine HPC or high performance computing, as we call with these chips, along with quantum computing, which only few people are doing at this point in the country. So it augurs well for the future of the country.
Going back to Project Indus again, can you tell me, so last time I think Sir CP came and he said we have finally made it in less than $5 million. And today you said it's just 400K. So what is the exact figure and how?
No, it is $400,000. I think CP was being modest in terms of putting it down. I think the bet. The bet was $10 million. I think we've spent about a year in doing this. But if you calculate, backtrack some of the cost that we have actually spent, it's not more than $400,000 that we've managed to do this. I think a large part of that $400,000 people forget. I've got a lot of help. And I'm very happy to acknowledge it. Number one, the help that we got was from CDAC, right?
CDAC,
CDAC did help us in, giving them the GPUs at a reliable cost in terms of what we can do. Number one. Number two, I told the story, right, at Cypher that we had to collect data and we had to send people. A lot of people came forward from the country to help us, right? Like they would have done for Sarvam, etc. Bhashadan is not easy. People don't want to reflect on their language, they don't want to speak. But when we opened this challenge up and when we asked people that this is about the country and for the country, a lot of people did come back and started putting their languages, right? A lot of youngsters. I've got a youngster from Sangamne, close to Pune. He was a 12th standard student. He finished his 12th and he came to my lab incidentally one day and he said, boss, I want to work only on Indus. So I said, look, I can pay you stipend, but I can't pay you more than that because you just finished 12th, right? We can't take you on board as an employee. He says, you don't even pay me. I am ready to work on this Indus only. Give me some work on Indus. My father has actually given me money to actually get a hostel in Pune. So there are instances like this where the country came up to help us.
One more thing that recently happened. So on LinkedIn, you posted a photo with Jensen. So how was the experience meeting Jensen?
We had our EBC with Jensen, and I think it's like opening up of your eyes when you met Jensen. I think he's been. It's like a vision that you try and imbibe, right? So sometimes when I look at my vision for AI, it becomes sketchy. Where do we go and where do we not? That time with Jensen gave us that perspective that look, it validated some of the parts that we were doing, but it also cleared out a lot of fog in terms of where we want to go with AI. So I think that's the brilliant characteristic of that man, that he can so simply lay down the vision for you in terms of what AI is going to do and what technology is going to do in the future.
Who do you think is the Jensen of India? If you want to put a label on anyone.
Well, there are so many. I wouldn't give anybody. I think there's so many. I think from a courage perspective, for a person to take lead in taking a challenge up, I would still call CP. In bringing forth very openly that the act of creating an LLM when we had not made and we had not prepared, right? So my bet would go on CP.
Yeah, like you were telling the story that he instantly called you at night.
It was 11:30 p.m. I told you. I said I was making my kids sleep, and he said he wanted to have a chat. And things percolated, and then the Twitter feed which says challenge accepted. But I think if there was somebody closer to having that courage to go into the unknown, I would rank CP as probably the topmost leader in the country.
That's nice. So the last question. So what are the future plans right now when it comes to Project Indus?
So we are improving Indus model, as we say. I think Indus had some dialects and some small part of data. We are now improving it with their SFT or the supervised fine tuning data as well. We're going to launch Indus 2.0 in the next couple of months, and that Indus 2.0 is going to be far better in terms of what we are, what we wish to do. And again, there are some partnerships that we are doing, and so on and so forth. So there's enough work in the future that we are actually looking towards.
Okay, so thank you so much, Nikhil, for coming, and I want to see you tomorrow as well, and meeting all the more startups and leaders who are coming. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Mohit. Thank you.